Welcome to the Alpha Newsroom. I'm Brother Eric Christopher Webb, the fraternity's Director of Communications and editor of the Sphinx. Sphinx Media and the Alpha Newsroom continues its coverage of the battle for the ballot. This week, 2 state legislatures' efforts were blocked that would have established gerrymandered congressional districts, effectively eliminating black representation and disenfranchising black voters. The South Carolina Senate abruptly adjourned, declining to take up a congressional map aimed at eliminating the state's lone majority black district represented by long-term Democratic Congressman and Omega Psi Phi writer Jim Clyburn, that would have had established an entirely Republican delegation. Now, this Republican-led legislature's decision to not take advantage of the U.S. Supreme Court's gutting of the Voting Rights Act is directly defying President Trump and national conservatives, at least for now. Any votes on the new map won't take place until after the June 9th primary. Congressman Clyburn had this to say in an interview with a local news station.
Why were we doing this? The Constitution didn't dictate it. Nobody in South Carolina asked for it. One person sitting in Washington said, "To heck with the Constitution. This is what I want."
Now, also on Tuesday, a panel of federal judges rejected Alabama's efforts to use a new voting map for the November midterm elections and ruled that that map intentionally discriminated against African American voters, even by the standard of the U.S. Supreme Court's ruling on the Voting Rights Act, and could not be used. Now, in a lengthy ruling, the panel wrote, quote, "We cannot see our way clear to requiring Alabamans to cast their votes in the 2026 elections under a districting plan tainted by intentional race-based discrimination," unquote. It also warned against confusing voters by trying to use a new map before the November elections. Now, despite the ruling, Alabama's state attorney general has vowed to immediately appeal the decision to the U.S. Supreme Court, that same high court that muddled how lower courts interpret the landmark civil rights law in the first place. Now, in other news, Alpha brother and longtime Congressman Al Green became a casualty of the war against voting rights and democracy after being defeated in a fierce runoff with freshman Democratic Congressman Christian Menifee that was a product of Republican gerrymandering. Last year, the Texas legislature unveiled a new congressional map designed to flip seats at Trump's urging to safeguard that Republicans' congressional majority, effectively eliminating the Democratic 9th district of brother Congressman Green, who has been a fierce Trump opponent. Now, embracing the philosophy of our late posthumous Alpha brother Frederick Douglass of agitate, 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 brother Congressman Green was and remains a staunch and outspoken opponent of President Trump's harmful policies and racist pandering, having repeatedly but unsuccessfully filed articles of impeachment for Trump during the president's first and second terms. And for the last 2 years, Brother Green had been removed from the State of the Union and another presidential address to Congress after protesting Trump's policies and most recently holding a sign declaring black people aren't apes, calling out Trump's racist depiction of the Obamas as apes in a tweeted video. Now in November, Brother Green had announced a bid for the 18th district, which had been represented by late Alpha brother Congressman Sylvester Turner, who passed away, but whose seat was filled by Menifee, who won a special election in January. Brother Congressman Al Green had this to say during his concession speech.
So one of the things that I will keep high on my agenda will be this notion of making sure that the enslaved are honored to the same extent that we honor others. We have honored people who were victims of 9/11, the victims of Pearl Harbor, the victims of the Holocaust. We have to honor the enslaved too. I promise that I'm going to continue to fight for this. And I promise you that I will be accessible. You probably see me smiling, and it's because this is not the end. This is the beginning of a new chapter.
Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated salutes the distinguished congressional tenure and the courage of brother Congressman Al Green and wish him continued success in his fight for justice, equality, and the respect and recognition of disenfranchised people. Sphinx Media and the Alpha Newsroom will continue its coverage of the battle for the ballot and other issues. Stay tuned.